And welcome back to the Kempire Radio podcast. I'm your boy, the Kempire. And yes, I am recording this late at night because I said to myself, if I don't do this now, it's never going to get done. But I wanted to tell you about my adventures this past weekend because normally you guys know I'm in the house. I like being in my house, but I was out and about in these streets. So first of all, I don't want to even talk about Wendy Williams this week. And it's not because we don't love and adore Wendy Williams. It's just that I can't. We spent the last few weeks reporting on every situation that came out. At this point, yes, there is something that I could tell you right now about Wendy Williams, but it's just like, okay, it's just another incident with Wendy Williams. So look, I'm trying not to talk about Wendy Williams, but I know a lot of you are like, Kempire, what about Wendy Williams? Not this week. Not this week. Let's talk about Teresa. Teresa Giudice from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. As you know, the big storyline this season is all about the drama that's happening between her and her brother again. Okay, well, this season's not really supposed to be about that. It really blew up towards the end of the season, according to multiple reports. So multiple reports are saying all kinds of things. There's a cheating rumor about Melissa and that guy, Nick Barada, who I think is adorable, but he's married. He's married, and so is Melissa. And we love Joe Gorga. Only reason why I even tolerate Melissa still on this show is because of Joe Gorga. But even Joe Gorga has gotten quite annoying. And yes, I heard the recent report. Is Teresa holding out? She won't return for a new season of the Real Housewives of New Jersey if Joe Gorga and Melissa return. Okay. They wouldn't even give her a 4. They were hemming and hawing. Look, this is my speculation. Hear me out. I'm not saying that this is actually what happened, but my intuitive nature tells me that Bravo was not completely sure about doing a spinoff for this Giudice Ruela's wedding. According to All Over Anthony on Twitter, he says this is going to be a 1-part spinoff for the wedding. So it's not going to be this 4-part situation that people have been speculating. And I think when Carlos King talked about, oh, Teresa deserves a spinoff, I told you back then, I said, I feel like because they are personal friends, Remember, Carlos was there at the beginning of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So he knows Teresa. He's very familiar with Teresa. And they're still friends. They still catch dinner and all that kind of stuff. So I think him coming out saying, oh, she's the only housewife that deserves a spinoff. And we all were like, who, what, where? Who, what, where? And I said back then, I felt like he was just putting it out there to help her get the spinoff. But all they gave her was a 1-part spinoff. And don't get me wrong, Teresa, very much like Nene, legendary, a part of the Real Housewives franchise. However, in recent years, all the drama that's around Teresa is just the drama around Teresa. If we had to rely on Teresa to carry her own show, she would not be able to do it. She would not. That's why all of you are like, I'm not going to listen to that podcast. Yes, Teresa has a podcast coming out. Luckily, she has a co-host.
See it the way it plays out on TV. Yeah. So I can't really say much on that. But all I know is that God sent me a Melissa that I absolutely love, and adore. And I know, Melissa, you were sent to me also from my parents. Yeah, I mean, like, I got a Melissa that loves me. I love her back. And it's so beautiful. Like,
luckily, she has a co-host. And I talked to you about, if you've been following me on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, we've been covering a bunch of different stories about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, what's going to happen during the season. It's Marge's season. Marge's best friend just did it. Our former best friend just did an interview with all about the Real Housewives. And she was like, this is why our friendship ended. And I was like, I still don't understand why your friendship ended. Over you not going to a party? It didn't make any sense. And ever since then, she's been trying to drop tea on Marge. And look, I know how you all feel about Marge. I really have no feeling towards Marge. If Marge did not return for another season, I would not boo-hoo. Is there anyone on this cast that I would boo-hoo if they didn't return next season? However, I'm not going to sit here and act as if Real Housewives of New Jersey doesn't get the ratings. They have a loyal fan base. Their ratings don't suffer. However, apparently Bravo also understands and production also understands we don't have a lot, so their seasons are always quite short in recent years. I think Jennifer Aydin has the ability to be a great housewife, but she's too up Teresa's you know what to really stand out on her own, which is kind of surprising because she's an Aries and she's a boss. So it's kind of surprising that she's giving this sort of energy on the show. But I think we all see the potential for Jennifer Aydin to be a great housewife, but she's just not living up to it. I'm hoping that these new housewives and friend doves that they're adding to the cast will transition us into a new chapter of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We don't need to rehash the same stories over and over again. And that's exactly what it feels like with this Joe and Teresa battle. I don't care about your family drama anymore. It's not interesting. It's actually very toxic. Speaking of toxic, Marlo Hampton. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I really haven't talked about them at length in a couple of episodes of the podcast. But Marlo, you're also someone that I don't care if Marlo doesn't come back at all next season. There's a reason why Marlo has not gotten her peach over the years, although she had been offered one years ago. But Marlo she's not fun. And I have to say, when I look back on the current season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, it wasn't a terrible season, but it's not their best season. It's not a great season. I'm not going to look back on this season and say, I'm going to watch that season again. Especially when we have, some of our really great, Peach Report Daily and the Bravo Shade Room where they post old clips of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Atlanta's heyday was so long ago, and it was a great time. Okay, Carlos, we'll give you your credit. You were one of the producers at the time. He loves to cite that. But, I mean, he was. He was. Carlos, Love and Marriage Huntsville, please, let's scrap and start again. I don't know what's happening with that. But you know what I have to say? Bell Collective this season so far for me on OWN is actually pretty damn good. It's actually, because I feel like there's real stories there. But this is only their second season. Can we normalize ending a show when we just don't have anything? Look, I get it. This is a business. They want to make money. Advertisers want to make money. These production companies, these networks, they want to make money. But can we just have some sort of integrity and say, you know what? We don't have it anymore. Let's scratch this. Not like what Bravo did, scratch Roni because they didn't want to deal with the anti-Semitic and racist things that Ramona said. Look. Okay. But back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Looking back on the season, I'm not one of those people that believes that Sonia needs to go next season. I think she should give her a shot. I don't love the way that Sonia has moved this season. However, I do not mind her being on the show. Like I said during my recent recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like, wow, it's incredible that we have a Miss USA, a former Miss USA, but not just a Miss USA. Kenya Moore is more than just a Miss. She was iconic in first of all, she's the one that I remember. I'm sorry, Carol Gist, I think it's her name. She was the very first Miss USA. Some people don't even realize that. That's because that's how iconic Kenya Moore actually is. Because she went on from doing that to doing acting and all kinds of things. And then she became even more iconic being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So much so that recent football ad, they had two other OGs and they had Kenya Moore. At this point, Kenya Moore's an OG in my head. In my head, she's an OG because of how iconic she's become a part of this franchise. All that being said, Candy, I do think, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I do think it's time for Candy to move on. I enjoyed Candy this season. Don't get me wrong. Candy, for me, probably was the standout this season with her comebacks. And some of you might say, well, without Marlo, you wouldn't have gotten that. Well, maybe. But I could still do without Marlo. Because Marlo's not fun to watch. Marlo's personal story is not interesting. And I'm not saying that it has to be dramatic. Even if it wasn't anything. If Marlo's personality was more fun and authentic, I think I would like it more. And unpopular opinion, I don't think that Marlo's that fashionable. I said it. My podcast. I'll say what I want. Some of you feel like I can't be biased. This is not CNN. This is not MSNBC. This is a commentary platform. I look, although I love to twerk on a fence, I have my opinions and I'm entitled. You're also entitled to disagree. But I don't think she's the most unfashionable, but I don't think she's as iconic as some people make her out to be. And I know people in fashion probably would agree with me. They're like, labels all over your clothing? That's not fashion. And I'm not saying I'm the most fashionable either, but I know what looks good. Just saying. I do have a history of managing an artist. I know what looks good, what works, what people gravitate to. I know what looks good on people. I have experience. So I'm not sure how I feel about the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. I didn't hate the season, and the ratings weren't bad. The ratings really were not bad, but I do think they need to shift. And I did have a change of heart with Drew during the season, but honestly, I wouldn't cry if Drew didn't come back next season. And I honestly probably would cry if Drew comes back next season because I don't, and I know a lot of people, well, Drew carried the season. Yeah, but it wasn't a great season. It wasn't an iconic season. I don't find Drew's confessionals that funny or entertaining. I actually find her real story pretty boring. Again, a Taurus. I keep telling you guys, look, we're great people, but we're not great reality TV. I mean, I have to say though, Candy got activated this season, and she did give us some really great moments. She did give us some really great moments. I'm loving these last couple of weeks that we're in Jamaica, and damn it, I probably need to get to Jamaica and go have some of that food because I just like there's nothing like Jamaican food in Jamaica. Like I can get Jamaican food here, but sorry, I'm fasting. I'm fasting. So there are a lot of rumors happening about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And look, it's my job to report on rumors. I don't report necessarily everything is concrete. In fact, yes, I report on a lot of speculation and rumors and things like that. But there's certain rumors that I just refuse to report on because it just doesn't make sense based off of history, what we've heard from executives and people in the know or from Andy Cohen's mouth himself. So when I hear about Diana, Madam Diana Jenkins is not returning next season, I don't believe that. I do believe that she's not returning, but not because of she had a lackluster season. No, I think they just don't want her back because she was boring and because of what she said to Philly Diva. Also, we've heard countless times from Andy Cohen that these decisions for who's coming back, they normally make those final decisions after the reunion is taped. That's when contracts usually go out. Do producers kind of know by the time they get to the reunion whether or not who's coming back? They do. They do. And I know a lot of people really want Lisa Rinna to go. She was also one of the people that was rumored she's not returning. She's not returning. Lisa Rinna, if I had to choose my top person to leave right now, although I don't like Lisa Rinna, she's not my top person to leave. Crystal Minkoff, the rumors were that they told her she needed to bring it this season or it's done. It's a wrap for her. But I've always said that Crystal has the potential to be such a great housewife, and it's not because of her, her personal story. It's just that I feel her personality, when you really get to see her in her personality, it's more interesting and entertaining and relatable than these housewives, especially in Beverly Hills. Did she come across as an elitist before? Did she say some things that make us look at her like, girl, what does that mean? So, yes, she did. But I still feel like she had great potential, but she just never got there for me. She just never got there for me. But I do think that Diana won't be returning next season. Dorit, according to reports, before this home invasion, they were saying that she wasn't going to return. Dorito, they've tried. They've tried to give her an opportunity, and I don't think Dorito will be coming back next season. And if she does, it will only be because she accepts a friend of role. And that's basically what she only gives. That's all she gives. Kyle Richards needs to go at this point, but she's a producer's pet. According to sources that I've heard from, apparently these ladies come together before the season starts, Some of these ladies, the Fox Horse flunkies more than likely, and they come up with their storylines for the season. So, and Kyle, everyone yields to Kyle. The Fox Horse flunkies yield to Kyle, and they don't need to. They need to refresh the show before it. But here's the thing: these suits, these white men in suits, very much like with the music industry. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Reality TV will end up like the music industry if they do not learn for what went wrong in the music industry. The music industry started like, oh, we're not going to do A&R anymore. We're not going to develop artists. We're just going to pick someone that has a fan base already, and we're going to throw them out there. And if that person sticks, we're going to make 50 more of them. Happened with Nicki Minaj. They've tried to make how many different Nicki Minaj? Some have stuck, but a lot of them, you're probably like, where is that girl that was rapping and looking like Nicki Minaj? Sidebar. I don't really like Nicki Minaj's new song. I was excited for it because I was like, oh, I like that sample. But I love Nicki Minaj. I think Nicki Minaj is so talented and she has a lot of hits. Sidebar. Here's another sidebar. Nicki Minaj getting the Video Vanguard Award. I thought that was interesting because I can't even think. The only video that stands out to me when it comes to Nicki Minaj's career is Anaconda. And even that wasn't a great video. But let me break the fourth wall for you guys. These awards, these situations are all PR situations. You got a new album coming out. You have a new project coming out. Let's align it all up. We'll give you an award. Will you show up to the award show? And I'm not taking away from Nicki Minaj when it comes to her career. Obviously, Nicki Minaj has, yes, Lil' Kim came before her. Lil' Kim paved the way for someone like Nicki Minaj, but then Nicki Minaj has paved the way for so many other artists behind her. She's leveled this to a whole other level. That's what you're supposed to do. Take from the greats and then make it even bigger and better. Michael Jackson took from the greats and he became iconic. So this is not Nicki Minaj slander, but I'm just breaking that fourth wall for you guys because I know a lot of people think, oh, you know, of course she needs it. How do you go from, did Missy Elliott get one? Did Missy Elliott get I think she did. And if she didn't, what the hell are we doing? No, I believe she did get the Video Vanguard Award. Yes. And I think Janet helped honor her too. But who do you guys think should have gotten the Video Vanguard Award this year? I don't know. I got to think about that. All the people that I grew up loving and really appreciating, the real icons, are dead. Damn. Whitney, Michael. Anyways. Damn. Oh, Aaliyah deserves one. I know she didn't have a huge catalog before she passed away, but what she did have was pretty dope. Oh, I miss Aaliyah. Oh my goodness. Isn't Aaliyah's the anniversary of her death coming up? Right? Okay, this just got really womp womp womp. Let's change the vibe. Let's change the vibe. So let's talk about the adventures of Kempire. So I've really been trying, especially because it's the summertime, to get out, get some vitamin D, and just enjoy the summer. These long days of summer, enjoying my beautiful city. Look, don't nobody talk about my boyfriend, New York City. Yes, I love New York. I love New York. I love Manhattan. Yes, Brooklyn is cute. Yes, Queens is cute. Yes, Staten Island, I grew up there. Ugh, not so cute. The Bronx, great. Harlem, cute. I'm more of a, Midtown, Chelsea, Village, even downtown Manhattan. I worked there for years. Love downtown Manhattan. And it's changed over the years. It's not just, businesses anymore. People are living down in downtown Manhattan. So on Friday, I had a bunch of appointments every Friday. So when you guys are getting, videos out late, it's because that's when I'm trying to get some appointments done. I got to get my allergy shots. I have to go to physical therapy. I got things to do. I got things to take care of. So I'm trying to take care of things. And sometimes I have to really slow down and say, just enjoy it. Enjoy. You're your own boss. You don't have to run home. You're doing quite well on these YouTube streets. You're doing quite well on TikTok. You're doing quite well on Twitter. We just had a Twitter Spaces the other day. That was our first one. And Twitter is where we're able to talk about things that community guidelines prevent us from talking about on TikTok or YouTube. And we had some grown conversation, not really explicit, but grown conversations. And people could cuss. I mean, I really don't cuss like that. And I was like, at first I was sort of like, oh, watch your mouth. But then I was like, no, this is Twitter. Drop all the F-bombs. Drop them all. I mean, I really don't curse, but I enjoyed it. We had a great time. We talked about Married to Medicine, but we also talked about sex and, marriage and how does that change over here? Are there ebbs and flows? We talked all about it. I'll post the link in the description so you guys can follow me on Twitter and you can actually take a listen to that Twitter Spaces. So on Friday, I was running different errands. It was beautiful weather because finally the weather broke here in New York City. We had it started in July. Normally July is hot, but it was extremely hot. We had 2 weeks of a heat wave. And luckily I work from home and I have a wonderful AC. But you want to go out, you want to do things. And when you do, you don't want to be sweating. So finally on Friday, I was able to really just kind of be out and about, walking around, just looking at the buildings like I was a tourist. And then I was in Soho because I had an appointment in Soho that I had to do. So I said I had some time before my next appointment. So I'm walking around and I see this, Soho has a lot of really like jewelry designers, artists, like real artists. And I met this really great guy, Consumer Arts, on Instagram. I'll post his link in the description. And great artist. And I saw his stuff from across the street. And at first I was like, it didn't look like any of people that I wanted. But I came around the corner and what was there? A Basquiat. Yes, a Basquiat. And he says he doesn't have a lot of them. I think he said he had 4 or 5 of them. I bought the only one that was there. And I was like, because you guys know my love affair with Basquiat. And I wasn't sure how I was going to hang this one, but I think I am going to send it out to be framed and put it up in the studio. Because I love Basquiat. And yes, I need to make time to go see this Basquiat exhibition that's being, curated by his family. I need to make time to do that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the connection I have with Basquiat. I know he does a lot of, graffiti kind of art and crowns. I love a crown. So when I saw this from him, and I also love the colors that he used in this one. And I was just like, I need this. I need this. Please give it to me. So I got it. And I had a really great conversation with him. He had great energy. He was talking about, his work and how he grew up in New York and how the pandemic affected his work. And now he's starting to get back out there now that you can be out there and sell your work. So I was like, I'm going to buy. I think he was, some people probably are looky-loos. They just kind of look like, and they'll get the cheapest thing. I was like, no, I need the Basquiat. I know what I want. This is why people have a hard time buying things from me because I buy what I want. I don't need for anything. Just saying. Tourists. So I bought the Basquiat. And I said, oh. But I'm going to check him out again. I'm like, what else you got? Because he has something over there and it had Kate Moss on it. And I said to him, I was like, please get some Naomi.
Altercation at Fashion Week. You were at that party, right?
No, it was called the Icon Party, but there were no icons there.
Because if he had Naomi, I probably would have bought the Naomi too. I love Naomi. Legend. Iconic. Did she beat an assistant or two? Allegedly. Allegedly. You're going to be seeing a little bit more of Naomi, I think. Just pay attention why I'm saying that.
This is insane. I'm sitting here with Ayan.
You're the best thing on the show.
Thank you.
Anyone ruffle your feathers?
She's got a lot of feathers on.
Okay. See, I know so much, but I am a vault and I don't say things. And I know sometimes that's probably hurt me when it comes to doing what I do, because I could have exclusives on certain things. I could put things out and be like, and I do here and there. I do here and there. Oh, goodness. Anyways, So that was one of the things that I did. I bought that and almost left this artwork at the doctor's office, at the bank. Yeah, because it was this big tube, and I'm carrying it around, and I keep forgetting. I was like, oh shoot, I need to bring that with me. This is expensive art. Bring this with me. So I did that on Friday. Then on Saturday, I was like, you know what? I didn't have any plans. I was supposed to have the cleaning lady come through, but I really didn't need her to because she came like the previous week. So I canceled that, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go get a mani pedi done. And I do that at least probably once a month. I'll do a facial at least once a month. I'll get a mani pedi once a month. Every other week, I'll take care of like my nails and my toenails myself. But I said, I'm gonna go and get a mani pedi for my guy. My guy Kevin, who does my facial. I decided no longer could I do a facial, mani, and pedi in the same day, because by the time he's doing my manicure, I'm like, I want to hit Kevin. I was like, I'm done, Kevin. I want to go home. I'm in there for like 4 hours. I'm just can't. I love Kevin though. Great. He does a great job. Look at my nails. He does a great job. So I got that done, and then I was just exploring. I was just walking around, enjoying. Again, guys, sometimes I feel YouTube is a huge platform. It's connected us to so many different people. Frank, you remember Frank, who was here a few weeks ago, my friend from True Exclusives? He's in Guatemala. He said, and this is from his smaller YouTube channel, his travel YouTube channel, Travel with Silent. He says one of the people in Guatemala in a small village was like, you're on YouTube? So YouTube is a huge platform that you can be seen around the world. So sometimes when I'm in the city, I do meet some of you guys, which is fantastic. But sometimes I have my headphones in, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm being rude. You might really have to be like, are you... And I know it's not a very New York thing to do, to tap somebody. But sometimes I'm listening to Beyonce. I'm like, listen, walking in my zone. So I just want to apologize. If you saw me in the city and you said Kempire, I apologize in advance. You might have to jump in front of me. You might have to jump in front of me and be like, hey, just say. So I did that on Saturday. I grabbed dinner. What else did I do on Saturday in the city? I forgot what else I did. I think that was it. But it was a good day. It was great weather. We had a breeze. I went to the LGBT center in I guess that's considered the Village. Yeah, that's the Village. And I used to go there as a young gay. As I've said to you guys before, going to the city was an escape. Growing up on Staten Island, it was like you couldn't really be yourself. So that was a place to go. So when I went there recently, I was like, you know what? How can I give back to this center that's given back to me so many times? Because they first of all, they had a whole new renovation. It didn't even look like the place that I used to go to. And so I became a member. I was like, I need to become a member. I need to support this. So I didn't go this weekend there. I went the previous weekend. But then Sunday, you guys know I went live. Oh yeah, that's what I did on Saturday. Before I even went for my mani and pedi, I went live Saturday morning to recap Bell Collective, and that's when I went to the city after that recap. After that, Sunday, and the reason why I did the Bell Collective recap was because I wanted to make sure that I got that done, because on Sunday I had my monkeypox vaccination. Okay, let's talk about monkeypox. I know. Another pandemic, another situation. Monkeypox is a situation in California, here in New York. It was hard. We were recapping Real Housewives of Dubai, and I had to make my appointment. Thank God I did, because I got the appointment. Okay, let's talk about this. So I didn't know where I was going. I had to go. It was a place in Brooklyn. So I was able to find it though. It wasn't bad. It was actually very, very quick. So I go, and it was very efficient. I love always when we are doing voting, when we are doing pandemic, vaccination, our people, black women are always there, always at the forefront, always there, always minorities at the forefront. So I go in, it's very like they have a system. And I was like, okay, this is very efficient. I love efficiency. And the doctor that was administering the monkeypox vaccination to me, first of all, she was so New York. She was cussing. She's like, not me cussing on this Sunday. I was like, you're making my Sunday right now. I like sassy, dark humor. I know some people wouldn't expect that from me, but I like that. That's why I like a Kathy Griffin. You know, I like that type of humor. And she had such great energy. She was so great. She was, making jokes. She was trying to relax me. I was like, lady, I get allergy shots every, at least once a month. Needles don't bother me. I'm still a little sore though from this one, but that's normal for vaccinations. I've been vaccinated for everything. I travel, y'all. So I have to get vaccinated for a bunch of different things. So COVID vaccination, the monkeypox vaccination, I'm like, all right, let's do it. So there are 2 shots for the monkey vaccination. So I have to go back in a month for the second shot. And then 2 weeks after that, you should be fully vaccinated for monkeypox. So let me see if I can stay clear of monkeypox until then. Thankfully, I really do social distance. Thank God. So I did that. Great energy. I got through that and then had the rest of my Sunday to myself. But I went hiking with my friend who's a Virgo. So if you were with me during my Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine watch party on TikTok, then you know I was going through it when it was coming with Virgos. I love my fellow earth signs, but I've realized that Virgos, not all of you, because as I always say to you guys, your moon sign, your rising, and all the other planets within your chart really do shape your personality. So one Virgo is not the same as another Virgo. And I know some of you will say some female Virgos versus male Virgos are different. Or, August Virgos versus September Virgos are different. Okay. Well, the 2 Virgos that I know and the ones that I've recently gone on hikes with, and I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go for a hike. I had to cuss out my friend. Not cuss out. I didn't cuss her out. But I had to check her. I was like, we've been walking for an hour and a half, and all you've done is complain. And then you wonder why your life is full of things to complain about. And of course, Virgo, she's like making excuses. Like, oh, no, I was just joking about. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Because I can tell from the intonation of your voice. And that, I have to say, it was like a energy vampire. That's why I wear my crystals and my things, and then I cleanse myself and I rejuvenate myself. And I remind myself, I can't be around that type of energy. I can't. And then it happened again, Lord. It happened again. Because then I hung out with my other Virgo friend who's a guy, and we went on a hike because I like to hike. I'd like to be out in nature if I can be out in nature. And we went for a hike, and I was like, and this is the same thing with my other friend. And they probably will see this. Look, very transparent. And I was just like, this entire time that we're hiking, this man is complaining. And mind you, also between my friend and my other friend, at no point did they ask me, how's everything going on with you? How are you feeling? What's going on in your life? Not both of them, both Virgos. And I said to myself, if you were to sit here and ask him, what's going on with Kempire? What's going on in his life? He wouldn't be able to tell you. But I could tell you what's going on in their lives. I can go through everything, down to the surgery that my friend just had. I don't want to complain. But I'm telling you what happened. But I also take, when I have these situations, I'm grateful because they remind me on how grateful I need to be. Because if I'm not, my life will end up like the life that they're creating, one full of reasons to complain. I'm grateful. I was like, I'm grateful for this lesson. I don't know why that energy was attracted to me today. Maybe I was on a low moment, a low vibration. But you always have an option too. You always have an option. If there's hesitation, if there's doubt, Oprah once said this on her show, doubt means don't. So if there's ever a doubt, you better not do it. So they're not bad people. Virgos are not bad people. Obviously, we have Virgos that watch us. But that was my lesson. I was just like, okay, I'm learning and I'm paying attention. You know, we were talking about cancers. I said, I noticed a trend with certain signs in my life. None of them are bad people. I'm not one of those people that believe, oh, you can only date certain signs or blah, 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 blah. No. If you understand a sign, you can make any relationship work with any sign. Any relationship, love relationship, friendship, whatever it may be. But I think it's important to understand the characteristics that come from certain signs and how other elements in your chart play when it comes to your personality. That's probably why I'm so balanced, is because I have a Leo moon, fire, and I have a Cancer rising, water. And of course, I'm an earth sign. So I'm pretty balanced, if I do say so myself. So that was the adventures of Kempire this weekend. Hopefully I'll have more adventures to share with you guys. I had to make time. In the middle, it's 11:45 p.m. Eastern time. So I was like, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm not going to have time. Or it's not that I have to get out of the mindset of saying I don't have time. No, I have more than enough time, but I'm trying to manage my time correctly. So I'm able to continue to give you guys a lot of content. And I'm also trying to get on a plane to somewhere. There's no reason that I quit my corporate job of 15 years and I'm still in the house and I'm not traveling and being anywhere I can be. I am very loyal to my fans. I'm very loyal to our subscribers. I'm very loyal to all of you viewers because I want to make sure wherever I go, I'm still able to give you content. But I got a laptop. I can head on out to somewhere and I'm going to figure it out. I still want to do live shows and things like that too. But you know, internet can be shaky certain places. Either way, guys, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everyone that has subscribed to the Kempire Radio podcast. Don't forget to rate and review because it does matter. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to follow me on my social media because that is also important. My goal, I want to be the king of all media. Just saying, I'm putting it out there. I'm manifesting. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. Check out some of our past visual versions of the podcast and past interviews with people like Brandy, Music Soul Child, Brian McKnight, and Oprah Winfrey. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next podcast.